Hey everyone, what's up? Chuck with Barely Battle Ready here. Today we're going to continue our video series in Airbrushing 101. Today's video is specifically going to be focusing on the element of being able to practice aiming your airbrush. In a previous video, I make a mention of the fact that this is one of those fundamental skills that you'll need to develop in your adventure, your path to learning how to better utilize the airbrush as one of those tools in your toolkit when painting miniatures or whatever it is you choose to paint. So today's video is going to jump right into that, and I'm going to show you a quick exercise that you can do in your spare time to help try to better understand how to aim the airbrush to make sure that the paint sits or hits on the model where you want it to instead of where you don't. That being said, let's go! Okay everybody, we are going to do a demonstration on how to practice aiming your airbrush to hit the target that you want to hit. Ideally the model or the part of the model, right? I mean, if you're just priming and you're just spraying everything, then this particular technique doesn't really assist you in that. However, when you get down to wanting to spray small details or add a little bit of a layer of paint in a really tight area on a model, a hard to get to area, and you don't want to allow that overspray getting on other parts of the model, or you just want to make sure that the paint's going to hit that area. What I will do from time to time is get a piece of paper, and I made this on Excel. I'm happy to share it with y'all if you want it, but it's literally, I just blocked out some grids in Excel and added some diagonal lines and some areas that are just straight line down at the bottom. So the intent is to use this piece of paper as target practice with my airbrush to see how well I can spray. So as an example, what I'm going to try to do is once I have my airbrush set up, pick whatever color you want, thin it down and so on, I'm going to try to hit the corners on each square and just try to get the paint into that little area where the lines intersect. And then I can, as you see the way it's printed out, I have a million options to do that across there. So you're going to get plenty of repetitions, which is a big part of it. You just need lots of reps and practice before it becomes very much like secondhand nature. So not only can you hit the corners, but then keep in mind, I can try to hit dead center in these little triangles. So for each square, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different intersections to hit, and then you have 4 different little open areas that you can practice on. And you can even take it further than that, right? Let's say you want to fill this triangle with paint without getting much paint in these other triangles. A different style of exercise that you can run through. And then down here at the bottom, what I left these long blank lines for was to be able to try to spray a different thicknesses of lines as straight as I can while holding the airbrush and propping it against my hand or some other hard surface to try to make sure that it's stable. So this whole sheet is usable to be able to continue to perform those reps to aim your airbrush in the area and spray the thing that you do want to, right? So we're going to go ahead and give this a go and see how I do. It's been a while since I've done this exercise, so I'll be very curious. So let's see how this works. All right, everybody, let's get this bad boy going. I got a couple drops of water on the inside of there. Just put a couple drops of flow improver inside there. And now we're just going to add a little bit of paint. So I just want something that I can put via a dropper. Here we go. Got some of this Game Air Hexed Lichen. Give it a good shake. And we're just going to put a couple drops of paint in there. 3 drops. Stir it up in the cup. Make it mix well with the flow improver and the drops of water. All right. So here we go. Let's see how well we do. Water up. Make sure that we got some paint coming out. All right, we're gonna try to just hit the corners now. So something you can sometimes see. There we go. All right, we're just gonna try to hit those corners. A little touch of paint. And you want to practice from different distances, right? So I'm pretty close, but if I back it up, you're going to see the paint hit, but you also keep in mind that it's going to be a much bigger area, right? And you can see the little spray, the overspray, if you will, and how it will start to, you'll see the little speckles that start to hit the paper. So let's keep doing this. Let's hit these little center points here. Not too bad. Let's go across the page here. Let's see if we can keep it real thin. I'm pretty dang close. I'm sitting at just a hair under 20 psi, so I'm probably around 18, 19. All right, let's keep going. And the beauty of this is that you just get lots of reps. And you get to test out how to thin your paints as well. All right, not too bad. Now let's try shading one of the triangles here. Let's pick this guy here. Trying to stay in the lines as best as I can without getting too much paint in some of the other triangles. So I'm just going to hit different triangles. I have my elbow propped against my table as I paint. Boom. All right. Another one. Yeah, another one. Got a little way for myself there. Ooh, trigger control. All right, so keep practicing this. Just pick different points. Think about what you want to try. Give it a go. We'll do alternating sides. And we're trying to keep some of these other triangles as clean as possible, and it can be difficult. So just want to take your time with it. And you'll build speed, but take your time with it up front. Get used to how your airbrush sprays, how you thin your paints, how much paint comes out when you depress the trigger and pull it back. Okay, it's pretty reasonable. Let's go back to making some dots. Ooh, see, I'm pushing too much paint too quickly. It started the spider web on this one. So I just want to be extra careful.
how much air and how much paint I'm pushing, because basically it's spider webbing because I'm pushing too much air too close. So if I back down my PSI a little bit, but now I'm sitting at around 12 PSI approximately. And I might have a little bit of tip. I got some dry tip on the end of my airbrush, which is causing it to spatter. So I'm just using my number 8 brush, and I am just wiping the tip of it with some water that I pulled from my paint cup. And then we're going to come back in here and try again. Still have paint keeps drying. All right, let's try doing some straight lines. This is where it's going to get fun. Let's see how well I can do this. See, as I was letting out less paint, and then I started letting out more and more and more paint, and I started to pull the airbrush away from the paper, so my lines started getting bigger. I need to keep a consistent speed. If I slow down, then the line's gonna get heavier and thicker. See if you can follow the same line. This exercise is by far the hardest one, trying to make straight lines. But you can just keep practicing. So go to thin to, and then start letting out more paint to kind of see how it flows. So just a little paint, and then as you get more down the line, open up the airbrush a little more. So let's go ahead and paint a couple more of these. Just like that. And just keep repeating this over and over again until you get comfortable understanding where your airbrush is going to spray. And it will be a huge leap in your ability to airbrush once you understand how to point and direct the paint to go where you want it to go. That's it. Easy peasy.
Hey everyone, so I hope that you found that video to be informative. It's a great practical exercise that I highly suggest you try out, especially if you're just beginning to use an airbrush. It will help you level up your game much more quickly. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. And also for those of you who are watching the channel perhaps for even the first time, we do have live paint sessions on Twitch, so you can check that out at Barely Battle Ready. And then also please subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Every subscription goes a long way toward making this channel bigger and better. And thank you all so much for all the support that you've given so far. It's been great, and looking forward to the next one. Thanks a lot. Catch you later.